My name is John Jones. I'm the Community Services Director for the City of Torrance, and this is indeed an honor for me to launch this program, because this has been a project that has been a dream of ours for many, many years. And what I'd like to do is first welcome each and every one of you here to today's ceremony groundbreaking. Thank you for taking the time and braving the weather. We do appreciate that. I'd like to do some introductions here today. There's a lot of notable folks that I'd like to make sure they're acknowledged. I wanted to welcome and introduce former Assemblywoman Betsy Butler. Betsy. We have, of course, our City Council members here, our Mayor Frank Scotto, Councilman Gene Barnett, Councilman Tom Brewer, Councilman Pat Fury, Councilman Bill Sutherland, Councilman Kurt Wiedemann. We also have with us today City Clerk Sue Herbers and City Treasurer Dana Cortez. This is a who's who crowd here today. Thank you for coming. Also with us, the Board of Education members. Michael Wormers is here. I believe I saw him in the audience. There he is. And Don Lee. We have, we're fortunate to have a couple of our former mayors here today. Yes, you don't get off that easy. Former Mayor Ken Miller. Thank you, Ken, for coming. And former Mayor Dee Hardison. Thank you. Los Angeles Superior Court, we have our supervising judge, Mark Arnold, is here today. And Assistant Supervising Judge Stephen Van Sicklen is here also. Gentlemen, thank you for coming. Our Parks and Recreation Commissioner here representing the Commission is Robert Baxter. And all the other, I know I have a lot of commissioners in the audience. Could you just wave your hand and be acknowledged? All the commissioners that work for the City of Torrance, thank you so much for attending. Field representatives, I have Congresswoman Maxine Waters' office, Hamilton Cloud. I have Senator Ted Lieu's office, David Lugar. And then representative from Don Canabi's office, Steve Napolitano. Thought I saw you there, Steve. We also have with us today our city manager, Leroy Jackson. He's usually there in the back. Our city attorney, John Fellows III. Our assistant city manager, Mary Giordano. And thank you to all the department heads that made it today, the exec team. Thank you for your support and for making it to this event. Raise your hand. There's my exec team. Well done. See how well they follow orders. I also have our superintendent of the school district, Dr. George Mannon, is here. And I have our project architects, Michael Imlay and Robert Sawyer, and Philip, I think. Philip, are you in the back there? There he is. They're in the back, our architects for the project. And then representing the general contractor, Ono Construction, Yoshio Ono and Richard Bragwin. They here also? I'm assuming they're in the back. Our synthetic turf contractor, Jennifer Young, and our sports field lighting contractor, Mike Marchetti. Now, I've pretty much introduced everybody. I'd like to ask our Vice Chair of the Parks and Recreation Commission, Robert Baxter, to come forward and lead us in the flag salute. If you wouldn't mind standing, please.
If you would place your hand over your heart, ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
It's great to have the pros out here helping us out. Thank you, Commissioner. This is my opportunity now to introduce Honorable Mayor Frank Scotto to have provide us some comments about our wonderful project.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. You know, we introduced half the crowd. I think the only person who didn't introduce my wife, she's back there somewhere. There's right back there, she's just hiding. You know, I can't tell you how exciting this day is for me. I mean, I know that a lot of you in this audience appreciate that, and I think that after I talk and the rest of the people get up here, I think we'll all understand how important it is for some of the people. I'm looking at some people right now that I've known for pretty close to 40 years, and we played soccer on fields that were pretty poor, let me tell you. And Howard knows I'm staring at him right now, so I want to thank you, John, for doing such a great job, and it's an honor to be here at the groundbreaking of this city's multi-use fields. You know, it's not so simple. We just didn't happen overnight, and you'll hear the whole story through this whole time we're talking, but it truly was an adventure. And I'm looking at Rudy Jimenez right now, who, I'll bring him up later in my speech, but he's sitting back there smiling because he knows that he has a big part of it too. This is a kind of an exciting day for not only me, but the rest of the city of Torrance, and we haven't had something like this in years. And for those of you that are involved in youth sports, be it soccer, baseball, little league, rugby, anything like that, you know that we haven't had this opportunity to open a new complex like this that we're going to all be proud of. This is not just average run-of-the-joe place we're throwing down seed. This is going to be a premier location that we're going to be all proud of. And you know, as the mayor, I'm so proud to announce the kickoff to the development of the 6.2 acres of land, truly a state of the art. And you'll come by here at 9 o'clock at night and you'll see these lights on. You're going to say, holy smoke, that's like Dodger Stadium. It's going to be fantastic. You're going to be able to play games under this and truly be proud that your kids are going to be able to do this. Within Torrance, most of you realize that there's 15,000 Torrance youth currently using the city parks in any given year for sports practices and games. It is anticipated that the current demand for sports areas will continue to increase in our future. Due to the demand for sports space in our city, it's critical that this facility was developed in order to meet the growing sports needs of our citizens. You know, we talk about the city of Torrance and how proud we are that the city of Torrance is where AYSO started. Let's hear a cheer for that one. Yeah. 50 years ago, by the way. And here we are trying to dedicate a field like this for the first time, and all that time. You got to think about that, how difficult it has been to get to something like this. But a lot of the people that are sitting here, I want to give credit to, because without their help, we never would have this. And believe me, I mean that. It's been a tough road to get to this point. It wasn't so simple. There's been a lot of meetings, and some of you don't know about half of the meetings we had to have. Some of those meetings had to take place in even San Francisco with some of you in the audience. In an effort to meet the growing demand, the city has partnered with the Administrative Office of the Courts and the County of Los Angeles. Now, two of those things are critically important that you understand, that the courts own 70% of this land, the county owns 30% of it. So without the cooperation of both those, we wouldn't be standing here today. The complex will ensure that high quality of play, both day and night, on a year-round basis is going to be possible. It'll also have the ability to be configured for soccer, football, lacrosse, rugby, cricket, and a lot more sports that will be able to participate here. So it's not just for soccer, it's for all those other things also. And we already have requests from all those other organizations. In addition, the City of Torrance recognizes that the market value in new and exciting property, and is launching the sponsorship program, which I'm going to talk about here, that you'll have the opportunity, all of you in the audience, to get your name right here where we're standing. There's going to be a little walk of fame walking in here. You get the opportunity to get your name on the wall. Maybe some of you have parents, or maybe we have somebody that we would want to honor as an athlete that was participating in the city of Torrance, and put their name on that wall. It starts at $250 and goes on up from there. Obviously, there's going to be a sponsorship naming ability too for the whole field. The sponsorship program includes levels that range from $250, like I said, to the fan level, which will go on up from there. As a sponsor, your name will be proudly presented in this wall that is similar to the wall that's at the Culture Arts Theater that we have, the Armstrong Theater. Staff will have information if you need to get that. They'll give you a letter that'll show you exactly what you can do. Now, with this ceremonial groundbreaking, we will begin a 4-month construction process that will culminate with a grand opening of a new multi-use soccer field. I'm hoping that sometime in February, towards the middle of the end, we're going to have another event out here, and we're going to be real proud of what we're going to be seeing, and hopefully the weather will permit us to do that. Lastly, this kind of thing can't happen with a lot of you in the audience, and I want to really give credit to credit's due. This event years ago, I brought it up at our breakfast with Mr. Rudy Jimenez, and he says, "Well, let's make this happen." And I laughed at him because we were going down that path. It was getting kind of difficult. So he calls Assemblywoman Betsy Butler, and holy smokes! Now you get Assemblywoman on this. There's no stopping her. I'm really, really, really impressed with her, and she's going to get up and speak in a second here. But so from that point, we had a number of meetings here locally and in San Francisco that we had to convince the courts to let us use the property. And the local judges agreed that they wanted us to do this. And really incredibly, not only did they agree, but also Don Kanabe has agreed to it. So that seemed like we had a deal, but it wasn't quite that easy. There was too many contracts, too many attorneys, too many people were involved in all this. And so it took a long time. At some points, I never thought we'd ever even get to this point. But having said all that, I want to thank my colleagues in the Torrance City Council, because this is something that we're spending $3.2 million to build. And so I know that all of them had some difficult times making this decision. But after it's done, I truly believe that they'll understand the value of what they've done. It was a 7-0 vote. There was no question about doing it, of course. But I know in back in their minds, they thought, maybe that's a lot of money that we're spending in these tough times. But sometimes we have to step up to the mic and do those kind of things that really expect a lot out of you to see what you can step forward and do. This is one of those things I knew my council was having a tough time deciding. But anyway, again, I want to thank the courts and the county. So first of all, a little story. Back almost a year ago, I got a call from Assemblywoman, and she says, Frank, this is not going to happen unless we go face-to-face up in Sacramento or San Francisco. We'll go wherever they tell us to go. And I said, well, you really think that's a good idea? And she says, yes, I think that we need to do this. So myself, Assistant Manager Mary Giordano, Steve Napolitano from the county, and Betsy Butler, we took a flight to San Francisco to meet with the court, and she took charge. We met with them and we spoke, and we convinced them that we needed to do this. And because of Assemblywoman's forcefulness, I'd say, matter of fact, it was very forceful, she made it happen. So I'd like to ask Assemblywoman Betsy Butler to come up and say a few words.
Well, I'd just like to say and congratulate everyone here, because, in fact, this is about community. And that's one of the best things about being elected to state office. You are a conduit from the community to the state and whatever it is you need. So, yes, we had to go up and meet with our Chief Justice, Tani Kantil Sakaue. And I wanted her to understand how important this was. She had made a commitment to me that she would make it happen. And it took another year for it to happen. And I was in a tough election, and I was afraid I wasn't going to get reelected. So I whip him up there to make sure that that commitment was made from the Chief Justice to the Mayor of Torrance, because this is a great project. We all know that the courts, unfortunately, Judge Arnold and others who are here, are going to be a little behind schedule with regard to the things that they need to do with expansion and growth. And so why not use a fabulous piece of property like this for the community? And it is a jewel here in the center. It reflects all the great minds and the commitment that exist here, and certainly too with our Rudy Jimenez. I mean, he came to me and he said, Betsy, let's open up that land. Why keep it fenced off? And let's use it. And so congratulations to all of you. It's been a pleasure and an honor to get to know you, work with you, and get this done. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Betsy. And that sounded real simple, but there was a meeting we had right over here with almost 20 of the people from the courthouse that we had to have this discussion. And our Judge Arnold, who's in charge of the courts, took the lead on that and says, we need to get this done. And this is a great idea, something we need to do for our youth. And so he bannered this locally and helped us get this through. So I'd ask Judge Arnold if he'd like to come and say a few words.
On behalf of the courts of California, from the Chief Justice all the way on down, and specifically the Torrance Courthouse, I'm very proud to have participated and to see that this is actually coming to fruition. Are there AYSO parents here? What does AYSO stand for? No, that's not what I hear. I hear it. I understand it to stand for all your Saturdays are occupied. And I can't take credit for that. Judge Van Sicklen just handed me that, so he gets the credit. But when I was told that the city wanted to turn this into a field, I thought, what better use of the field can there be other than laying vacant than to benefit the city of Torrance and specifically the youth of Torrance. So whatever role the courts took, we're very happy and proud to have done so. Thank you.
And the last part of the pie, the piece that we needed also, the 30%, was from the county. So I'm asking Steve Napolitano. By the way, you take a trip with Steve Napolitano, he's very finicky about the food he eats. And so we had to find the right kind of place that he would yeah, it is true. So Steve's representing the county for Don Kanabe.
Thank you very much, I think. This means you have to be nice to the county 30% of the time from here on out. But just want to say congratulations. It was quite an ordeal. I want to say, though, that the county and Supervisor Kanabe said yes right away when they were asked. There was no hesitation. There were no years of effort that were needed to get the county to weigh in on this and support it. I used to get a call on this property about once a week from developers wanting to get a hold of it. And thank goodness they didn't, because whatever difficulties that there were in getting it, whatever the cost will be, and knowing the courts and the Chief Justice, she wanted precedent as to uses, and we were able to give her examples of precedent where there was cooperation between the state, the county, and cities, where facilities were used for $1 a year, not the $400,000 or $40,000 a year that they wanted. And so, yeah, and so just to harp on that, though, whatever the cost is, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, when we know, unfortunately, the courts aren't going to have the money to expand anytime soon, I'm going to go to the expansion of the George Deukmejian courthouse, the opening of that at the end of this week. But they're not going to have the money anytime soon to do any new courthouse here. So 10, 20 years from now, when they're still playing soccer and softball in this field, they're not going to care how long it took or how much money it cost. They're just going to be enjoying it. And this is going to be a field here for a long time to come. And I throw in the county's 30% on that. So on behalf of Supervisor Kanabe, I'm not allowed to go anywhere without a scroll, so I'd like to present this to the mayor on this groundbreaking, and I look forward to the dedication. Thank you very much.
The funny thing about all these things, when you have this kind of an event and you have to spend a lot of time with people, you'll learn a lot about those people. And today I found out Judge Arnold's a true athlete from Palisades High, 1966 he graduated. And, you learn a lot of things about people. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Mary Giordano, especially at the very end. She's standing back there, and she's real shy, of course. But Mary Giordano from the city's side, with a lot of other people, including John Jones, really bannered this with the city. And without her efforts and all of the phone calls that her and I have had to make about this, it would never have been happened like it did today. So let's give Mary a round of applause. We're going to okay. Yeah. Yep. I think Ted Lieu's office? No? From Ted Lieu's office. There you go.
Just want to say my name's David. I'm here from Senator Ted Lieu's office, and wanted to present the mayor with a certificate of recognition in celebration of this groundbreaking ceremony.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, with that, what we're going to do is going to be patient with us. We're going to take a couple photos, and we're going to do that over here. First, we're going to ask the council and Assemblywoman Butler to come up and take a picture real quick. And then we're going to have other people come up with the county and the courts with Assemblywoman. And then we'll take pictures. We have where'd John go? I think we're going to take a couple other pictures with Parks and Rec. So we're going with it over here. So thank you all for coming. And yes, both Sue and Dana come up. And then we're going to ask that some of the kids, AYSO kids, get in that picture, the third picture, okay?
There's one more. Let's have an extra hat. Let's throw some of those. I know that. Yes. One goes this way. Hey, John. John. Our sunglasses. Take your sunglasses. I need the stool. How does this work? Okay, so get this angle over here. I don't want to get for this.
Hey, tell me when you guys are ready to take a picture. We're looking over here, guys. All right, that's the first one. Really good, guys. Good job.
Take those full-length shots with a big smile.
Again, one more time. For Rudy. One more time for Rudy. Okay.
All right, Rudy. Don't screw up.
Throw the dirt on Rudy. No pressure.
All right, big smile, everybody. Could we get a bigger mound of dirt? That's the question, huh? It was much taller. Okay, judges, come forward. The mayor's calling. You know, I. We done? The goal is to move that pile to over the other side, so you got a lot of work in front of you, team.
I'm good. I don't do all the...
He's got place cards.
Okay.
This is a recreational activity, exercise.
Okay, you ready?
Big smiles now.
Move that tripod, please. Move the tripod, please.
Your Honor, are we doing any more photos?
We want some of the kids that want to be in the photo.
Oh, the kids? Do we have any children? AYSO kids, into the picture you go. We want to see your unis. I know it's cold, but blue looks good on you. Keep going. Go around by the young adults. You got to kind of put them on the edge, Your Honor. The dirt mound's a little taller than some of the kids. Maya, oh yes, beautiful. Hold the shovel there with that young man there, yes. Everybody this way, look at this camera over here to my left. See this camera? The one, sorry, flicking. Big smiles. One more. Look this way.
And one more this way now. Over here, guys. Over that way.
Okay, everybody. All right.
Thank you so much. Okay, I guess not.
All right, big smiles, everyone, as you're turning blue. Make it count. Okay, thank you, kids. One more. Well, we lost half of them. All right, one more time, kids. One more time. Step on in, grab a shovel. Your Honor, one more picture with the kids. Hold on, one more picture with the kids. One more with the kids. He's asking, pleasing, begging. Everybody look here at the cameraman over there. Okay, that's good. We're done. One more photo still, but not with the kids. Kids, thank you. Time to go do your homework.
Guys, come on. Hey, Alex. Hey, guys, come on.
Can we go home?
Judges, it was a nice try to sneak out, but you're back in the picture again. Okay, you good? Isn't that a nice looking group? Are we done, photos? One more photo. Hold on, one more photo. Tell you, can't get enough photos in this place. The sun is setting. Are we good? All right, it's a wrap. Thank you, everyone, for coming.